Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I'm back with another live. Y'all see me being consistent, setting the tone for 2024. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the opportunity to get in here. Um, Shout out to everybody staying home on a Saturday night, being safe, y'all. I've been cleaning this house all day. Got some food going. It's getting crazy out here. So more and more at night, I just want to be home. So I'm glad I got time to come on here and talk to my subscribers. I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to get in here. Make sure that you let it be known who you are as you enter the chat. So, yes, guys, the topic tonight is why Black women hate Jeanie Mai. If y'all hear me drinking, I'm getting this protein shake in. And I put some glutamine in this because after I get off this live with y'all, I'm gonna go work out. Who is that I see? Go on ahead and let it be known. Put your name in the chat so that I can know who's all in here and that we can interact as I get it going. Please make sure that y'all hit the like button as y'all enter the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like so that my message can get circulated across these YouTube streets. Again, tonight, guys, we're going to be exploring Jeanie Mai and Young Jeezy's relationship, the dynamic of that, and why Black women seem to hate this woman so much. We're also going to be talking about how racism fuels unnecessary competition amongst women for men who were unworthy of us to be competing for them. Okay, I hope to free some minds tonight. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then I'm going to get started on my topic. Again, make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you comment so I can know that you're here. Be sure to ask questions. Insert your inputs into the live chat. So, just to kind of like talk on my progress a little, I've gained a few subscribers in the past couple of days, and I noticed I get more views when I do my lives. And of course, I mean, what's the point of being on YouTube if nobody sees what you're talking about? And I have a pretty good message. So I said, okay, well, it seems like my videos are getting more traction when I go live. So I think that's going to be my main format for now. And then, of course, I'll continue to put pre-recorded content up, guys. But pre-recorded content, it takes a lot more time. Especially when you kind of have to make sure that things are just right to get it going. So this is much more easier for me. I can just press a button and talk to y'all while I'm doing something else. Hey Bianca, I'm glad to see that you made it, girl. I think this is gonna be a good live tonight. A really good one. Did you look on the shade room? Have you been on there today or have you seen them come up on your Instagram feed? Or was that yesterday? Anyway, Jeanie Mai posted a picture of her looking good. She was looking good. Of course, she was doing the white girl thing with the fur boots and the swimsuit, but the girl was looking good. But then you go in the comment section and everybody was mad at her. They were talking about her so bad. Um, and I'm like, why? Why do people hate her so much? And I had to really kind of sit and think about it. And that inspired this. I've kind of been keeping my eye on that situation because that whole thing is interesting. What did you think of them pics, Binky? I mean, I guess like my first mind goes when I see pics like that. and the woman is 45. I'm like, dang, I hope I look that good when I'm 45. Okay, you said you thought, damn, why? Why'd you think, damn, why? When she posted those pics? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. I think yes, a part of me thinks like she did kind of like post those pics because she's trying to show Jeezy that she's moving on and that she's still, looking good. That divorce isn't bringing her down. I don't think she's trying to get him back though. Yeah, Bianca, I don't think she's trying to get him back. And the reason why I say I don't think she's trying to get him back is because a woman that wants a man back would not be doing him the way that she doing him in court. So like in the court of public opinion, he has the public's opinion. He's gotten ahead of the story. He did that interview with Nia Long. He has kind of made it seem like she, like he hasn't said it, but people think that she cheated on him. But there's this girl on YouTube called Tisa. She has a show called Tisa Tells, and she be in everybody business. She be with the court documents and everything. And Jeezy actually was the one that cheated on her. And Jeannie Mai is coming with the proof and the receipts, and she's coming for that check, that bag. And so, I mean, she's definitely dragging him through the mud in courts. She's just publicly staying silent about it. So, also too, men care about stuff like that a lot more. They're good at having a poker face. Like you'd be surprised. Like they make it seem like they don't care. Now, do he care enough to do right? No. Yes, Binky. Yes, she has proof. She has proof. She's coming with receipts. And that's why she kind of being quiet because she don't need to, she don't need to do all what he's been doing. Like, and they had a clause in their prenup that the financial burden would fall on the spouse who cheated, and it was very thorough. It was like if you emotional cheating, texting, sexting. So and he signed it. So yeah, she coming with the receipts. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started now. Full disclosure for everybody here, because I know when we talk about topics of race, everybody is sensitive, and depending on how you feel about whether or not biracial people constitute as black, some people might feel like I shouldn't be talking about this. So, full disclosure, my mother is black, my father is white. I was raised with my black side exclusively. Okay. Um with that said, my mom has always dated outside her race. And I kind of do think this is relevant because Jeannie Mai is a Vietnamese woman. And this might kind of explain to y'all why I'm not as offended by some of the things that her mother said or even that she said as most people would be. But I'm going to explain. You have to listen to understand, not with your emotions. So, my mother got, this is gonna be so ghetto, y'all. My mother got pregnant with me while she was married to my brother's dad. They were separated for a time. So she got with my dad, got back with my brother's dad, but by that time she was pregnant, and everybody knew I was not my brother's dad's kid. My brother's dad is Vietnamese. He is from Vietnam. Um, so I was raised until I was 3 in a household with my brother's father. And even when they divorced, that family was always in my life. Okay, so I've heard the stories about how a lot of older generations of Vietnamese people don't want their are not necessarily too happy when their children marry black people. Okay, even my brother's grandma. So when she came over here from Vietnam, they came over during the fall of Saigon. She had them by two soldiers. So they're supposed to be half white, but nobody really knows the story, to be honest. She came over here. She married a white man. Both of her kids, my brother's dad and my brother's aunt, ended up marrying Black people. Okay. So, of course, initially, my brother's grandmother was not too happy. You got to understand, a lot of times when Asian people think about marriage, they think about it in terms of hypergamy, of adding wealth. And just across the world, Black people just have not been portrayed in a very positive light, whether that be through media, okay, and whether that be through interactions that those people had over there with all different kind of races of soldiers, right? So all of this is a very complicated thing, right? However, what I will say about my brother's grandmother is once, children and things became involved, she didn't make any differences. Like, she never treated any, even me, like I wasn't her biological grandchild. She never made a difference. She gave me the same things that she gave my brother, even when my mother divorced from her son. And honestly and truly, she's the reason why my mother wanted to get an abortion. Like, she was like 7 months in pregnant with me, still trying to get an abortion. And my brother's Vietnamese grandmother was like, no, I'm going to call the police if you do that. Like, she's the reason why I'm here. So I would never sit up and talk bad about Vietnamese people or say that they're racist just simply because they might have observed some things about our culture that I'm going to talk about. Okay, so I'm glad I got that out the way. Now, again, I saw those comments on the Shade Room and I just didn't think it was fair. As a woman, I don't think we should ever gloat in another woman's pain. And this competition that's Black women and other races of women run against each other because we've been pitted against each other, and I'm going to get into that, has women literally on the internet upset at a woman who is doing her best to keep her head above water and get through a divorce with a child. And she was completely blindsided. And it's like, this racial perspective and not being able to see beyond race has a lot of people unable to empathize. That woman heard that they were getting a divorce when everybody else heard they were getting a divorce, and is now doing her best to pick up the pieces in her life with the child. Mind you, she said before that wasn't necessarily in her life plans. I think she fell in love and just went ahead and did it for Jeezy. But any woman, regardless of your race, should be able to relate and empathize and to understand that. I think what it is Jeannie Mai has made some comments on The View. Do you remember that, Binky? When she got on there and she was talking, I think, with Tamar and Lonnie Love, and she said that she likes her dark meat on the side, but lean and mean, I guess, for marriage. What'd you say? Bianca said Jeezy is getting the Johnny Depp treatment. Exactly. Yes. Uh, Jeezy is definitely getting the Donnie Depp treatment. Like, everybody's acting like she did Jeezy wrong, and Jeezy is playing victim, and he did it very intelligently, sitting down with Nia Long, and Nia Long just kind of ate everything he was saying up. But I saw he was just running black back, trying to get Black folks on his side, right? And we're gonna talk about him in a second. But yeah, so she said she liked her dark meat on the side. Part of the reason why I believe she's felt that way though is because she knew that if she got with a Black person, her family would not necessarily accept them. Okay. And we're gonna talk about that. In Asian culture, they believe in marriage. Okay, they believe in marriage. They believe when you are married that the man is supposed to be a provider, in Vietnamese culture as well. So much so to the point where a lot of Asian mothers would prefer that their daughter actually marry a white man than an Asian man. They believe in go where the money is, right? How are people gonna be mad at Jeannie Mai's mother for making observations about the men in our culture that we ourselves as Black women make? Okay. I hear Black women sit up and talk about all the time how these men are not offering marriage, how these men want to go 50-50, how these women don't want to, how these men don't want to be responsible for their children. Okay. Is that all Black men? No, but it's enough to where when we talk about is marriage a standard cultural value of African American men, we can definitively say and unequivocally say, no, that is not the norm. How are people going to be mad at Jeannie Mai and Jeannie Mai's mother for doing what any parent that loves their child would do and say that is where you need to stay away from them? You need to go where you can win, not where you can end up in the situation where she is now. And in hindsight, I promise you, her mother is telling her, I told you so. But Jeannie Mai would have known this if she understood men and was able to look back on the pattern of behavior that he's had and see that that man has not married any of the women that he impregnated. Now, uh to a lot of Black women's point, I'm pretty sure he did get in her head and let her know, make her think that she was better, like he was not going to treat her like that because she was fit, feminine, and friendly. And I remember her kind of talking about, like, she had, when she was with Freddie, she never talked about femininity, but I saw her make a comment one day to the effect of like, oh, she's learning how to be softer and more feminine around Jeezy. But again, these are talking points from our community. Y'all don't know the conversations he's having while he's laid up pillow talking with those women. Why? And I don't understand why Black women get so upset at another group of women for the men in our community going over there pumping their heads up, pillow talking, telling them our business. It's the same conversation, kind of like we had yesterday, Binky, where a man will tell you how he got done wrong by a woman, knowing that you are gonna want to do the completely opposite of that, right? You're gonna want to make his experience with you better. Okay, Black men do this with other races of women in regards to us. Okay, so those other races of women, they don't really know us like that. I mean, for the most part, there's still a lot of segregation and separation of races in this country. So when you have other women who don't necessarily have much interaction with Black women, maybe outside of a workspace, but I'm talking about as far as building friendships and community, right? And they're hearing all of these things, they naturally want to be the opposite. And it's not even about them not liking us. It's about them liking that man and wanting to compete for that man, right? And when we get upset at that man for going to another group of women, we don't even know these women. We're just mad at them because why? We want the attention of these men who are rejecting us. So we're competing with each other over a man who was essentially disloyal. Let's start there from the jump, and has no intentions of treating either party with the respect that they deserve. And what does that do? That breeds more competition. And I wish I could, if I find the video, I'm gonna link it. Princella read a on her channel, she read an excerpt out of Pimpin' Ken's book, Pimpology. Um, and basically there's a section in there telling pimps and men to play one hoe against the other hoe because competition breeds greatness. This is standard game that they run amongst us. And it's so bad to the point where we can see another woman of another race experiencing the same heartache that we have experienced, and we gloat in it. We're excited about it and we relish in it. And there's absolutely nothing attractive about that. That woman's pain is not going to make the men in our community respect us, love us, treat us better. Y'all think that they go over there and get hurt and automatically see black women as more valuable or more worthy of respect? No. They'll come over here for a pat on the shoulder, but ultimately they will always continue to run between us, causing competition. And because of this, we as women can't come together and focus on the things that are more important at hand that we need to focus on. um I think that a lot of these channels, I've listened to a lot of these channels about what are they called, these divestment channels. What you say, Minky? It could easily be us again. I don't relish in stuff like that. It's bad energy, of course, Binky. I mean, the woman he cheated with is a black woman. That's another thing. Sometimes you gotta recognize when you've won. Let's say we are in competition. Sometimes you have to recognize when you have won. If you have a man that is over here in our community making baby mamas and not marrying either one of them, just creating broken household after broken household after broken household, and he decides he wants to exit stage left, and the Asian women or the white women or any other group of women decide that they want to take that on, why be upset with him for leaving because he wasn't doing any good over here anyway, and upset with her for taking him in? It sounds like a problem was taken off your hands, you know? And then, like, I be looking at them kind of situations when they get a divorce. I be like, oh baby, no, you don't come over here with all that. No, stay over there, sis. No, stay over there, brother. I hope you and sis work it out. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna be in a competitive mindset, at least recognize when you won and you ain't taking no L's. That just don't make no dang sense. Okay, but you got everybody mad at this woman because she's trying to get through a divorce just like we would be. And black women, I seen it. Black women do it way worse than what Jeanie might doing right now. Okay, black women will get on the internet a lot of the times. We gonna post 1,000,001 pictures, looking good, going out, throwing some subs. So she not doing nothing that a lot of us wouldn't be doing. It takes a very mature person in general to just stay off the internet for a while and then focus on their own healing and their own growth. But even then, you can't necessarily be upset with somebody for trying to move on and doing things to try to make themselves feel better. That's the problem with a lot of women. We get broken up with and want to sit in the house, get depressed, gain weight, be unhappy, cry every single day, and just kind of let everything go to the wayside, just go through the motions. Okay, at least this woman is saying, hey, I'm gonna stay going out, doing my interviews, booking my little events, doing my shows, getting dressed, getting cute every day. What's wrong with that? I don't understand. Um, and but I do understand it's all this competition, and I'm gonna get up out of here in a second, y'all, because I got some food cooking. But I just wanted to say, like, if you hate another woman for trying to heal after a breakup, you need to seriously do some self evaluation. You need to look at your why you're unable to empathize with somebody just because they're a different race from us. And for some of y'all might feel like, well, nobody has sympathy for black women and nobody cares about us when our feelings are hurt. And you know what? That might be true. Okay. As a matter of fact, in many cases, That is true. But nobody's asking y'all to run to this woman's rescue. But do you have to go out of your way to be mean and spiteful? And that's the difference, right? Um, we could simply just ignore Jeannie Mai. We could simply just not have an opinion, but to choose to be hateful just because you feel like, aha, he did the same thing to you that he did to us, when whether or not it's being done to us or it's being done to another race of women is still wrong, right? And it's like, again, nobody's saying go pull Jeannie Mai up from the depths of her sorrow. But can y'all just leave folks alone and not make yourself look bad and mean and spiteful and hateful and angry because a man seemingly is these type of men seemingly are not choosing us. They not choosing nobody. They choosing themselves. Okay? Even when young Jeezy got with Jeannie Mai, the only reason why he got with her and married her is because he was trying to step out of that thug persona and clean up his image. He knew he was going to be writing a book. He used her for what he needed her for. But y'all can't see that because you're so caught up in your feelings, because it's really hurt from feeling rejected by men who we believe are supposed to love us. But when you understand how all men operate, not just black men, then you will understand that the competition between women in regards to racial attributes is completely pointless and counterproductive. And that's all I have to say, ladies. Y'all have a good night. Bianca, thank you for showing up, sis. Good night.